Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Food with Chudi. I'm your host, Chudi. Today, I'm here with Aminu, Skip, Edosa. My pointing might not be in the right order because during the video switch around, but it's okay. I'm going to try to start doing this at the beginning. Like, subscribe to our YouTube page. We're going to talk about Arsenal and Spurs. Since it's international break, we really don't have any club football to talk about aside from those two big clubs chasing down Manchester City for the title. Are they realistic title contenders or title pretenders? I'm going to start with our Arsenal fan on deck, Edosa. What do you think about only one defeat, Arteta masterclass, Arsenal?
Ooh. Oh, you said chasing down Man City. I believe they are chasing down Arsenal.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.
Okay, on a more serious note, though,
Don't be crestfallen, man. You're first.
No. I'm trying to find the right word to explain. Like,
in fact, you should be looking down on the rest of us. Like,
I am pleasantly surprised at the state of affairs at Arsenal. Of course, let's not forget this is still, I think, now the second youngest team in the league because of Southampton buying a bunch of 18-year-olds. But like, it's still one of the youngest team in the league. So. And they continue to go younger now that we're giving 15-year-old starts in the Premier League. So it's so like they shouldn't be where they are, basically. But I think that based on last season not being able to draw games, just the fact that Arsenal are better than last year means they will win more games. So I'm not dreaming about the title because I don't know if the Haaland is in this league. So it doesn't really matter what you do.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Saliba got him. Saliba got him. Don't worry. No, like, I'm a Saliba believer by now.
So I just poured this.
No, but like the thing is just like even if you beat City twice, you might still not win the league. Because the year Leicester won the league, they lost 2 games, both to Arsenal, and they still won the league. So City can lose games and still win because Haaland is going to score 100 goals this year. So, like, I am very happy anywhere. Like, based on stats and age and everything that I have read, Arsenal are anywhere between the 3rd and 4th best team comfortably in the league, and that's kind of where they need to be right now. And then maybe next year you now say you want to contend for the title, and the year after that, when Pep is on his way out, you say, okay, fine, you want to win the league. Yeah, because he's done 2025, 2026. So that's 2 seasons from now. So as it's going now, he might not care as much as last time, and then you sneak in somehow to win it. But now, yeah, I think the team is doing really well. I can't really there's nothing to complain about. It's been weird watching games without really caring because now you're going to win. So just kind of whatever.
Wow.
Like,
when you're winning, you can't see how you lose. Like that's just how it is, right?
All right.
No, but
you gotta hold that thought. Hold that thought. I'm going to go to Conte's biggest fan on the panel here, Aminu. What you saying about undefeated Spurs? Do you think they're better suited to win the league, or do you think it's just early days?
It's definitely early days. I think it's definitely going to be a weird type of season because of the World Cup and all that. But first of all, to set the record straight, I'm not a Conte fan. And by the way, one of his clones in Serie A.
Oh my goodness!
Managed to lose his own game at home to Atalanta. So it's all good. And I won't get distracted from the fact that Edosa just guaranteed top 4 for Arsenal this season. So we have
Champions League anthems.
For that. But in terms of Spurs title credentials this season, I really don't see it. I think right now their position in the league table, and as you mentioned, being undefeated is really reflective of like the teams they've played. I think they have like the, the second or third easiest schedule so far, and Arsenal actually have had a pretty smooth schedule so far. So their current position might be a little bit deceiving, but I
Look at
just don't believe
Chelsea.
in.
I'm just looking at their this
Chelsea
season.
was in crisis not too long ago, so that doesn't count. And
And their
and
goals were fugazi, if I remember. Their goals are very suspect that
yeah, and
day.
I just don't trust them as a team. Like I know this last game they played Leicester, which is who have been very poor this season,
Their
and they
last.
scored. They're even last. Yeah,
Their
and they
last.
scored 6 goals against them. But if you watch that game, there were moments that you know Leicester could have gone ahead, and it was still cagey, and then all of a sudden Sonaldo puts on his cape, and just scores 3 fast goals. So it's a weird one with Spurs, but I have a feeling that they'll come back down to earth as the season continues to progress.
Um, Skip, I gotta ask you, I think, why do people have so much faith that Chelsea and Liverpool are gonna rise up from the dead, so to speak? Like, where is this faith coming from?
I don't
We've
know
had
because
seasons. Sorry, we've
because
had seasons when you guys are when Chelsea are in crisis, right? That's the season when Man U came second. When you guys are in crisis and Liverpool have their injury crisis and teams finish above them. So where is this faith coming from that eventually
because
Arsenal
when
and
you
them are
look
gonna
at the
go?
team, I don't think people are looking at it saying like, oh, Arsenal are going to go down and Man City are going to stop winning, Arsenal are going to stop winning, Tottenham are going to stop winning. I don't think that's the case. But when you look at Liverpool and Chelsea, can they really get worse than they have been? That's the question. Can they really get worse than that? It can't get worse than that. So there's the only
You'll be
way.
surprised now.
The only way is basically like the way I'm looking at Liverpool and the way I'm looking at Chelsea. Like it can't get basically worse than this.
But what if it
Like,
stays the same?
hmm?
It might not get worse, but what if it stays the same?
Then again, it stays the same. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, Liverpool are definitely going to come back, go on like their 13 wrong wins and all that. We know it's possible. So if you look at Liverpool, you can be like, it's possible for Liverpool to do that. But is it going to happen? No. If you look at Chelsea, you can be like, oh, if you look at Chelsea, you can look at Chelsea. Oh, Chelsea can actually improve and all of that 1-2. And also, we have 9 games away from January transfer window, which is basically not even half the season before the World Cup. And when World Cup is over, January transfer is open. That means all these teams, before you play half of the regular season, they can go buy players, improve their squad again, and go.
Who's trying to buy players after
Liverpool
Premier League
definitely
broke the record for most
But here's
highest
the thing:
spends?
we all know Liverpool need a really good midfielder. If there's someone on the market in January where they can overspend like 10 million, I can bet it with you they're going to go for that right candidate.
10 million.
Because they did the same thing for DS,
They can't
will
even
go-
sign me for 10 million. Who are they?
No. I'm saying like if they would overpay, if they would overpay
Okay,
over the
okay.
market value.
Who is the player?
Like
Who
again,
will
and-
be that player?
No. I'm just saying, like, if it's a
Bellingham?
player that they can pay 10 million over the market value for and get him, they did the same way thing for DS. This time last year, nobody knew DS was going to go anywhere in January. But like things move quickly in football and doors open quickly. The way door closes is the same speed like door just open. So like it can happen where they go get a good midfielder and then everything turn and you're like, oh shit, they've already played like 35% of the season, then they go on that crazy run. Who can say? So all I'm just looking at for this again, it can remain the same, but the way I look at both teams, the only way is the way up. And when I'm looking at City can play better than the way they've been playing.
True.
But if we look at Arsenal, can Arsenal play better than what they've actually shown? I don't think Arsenal, like, without bringing another player in, like, let's say Arsenal goes and get a player, they can improve. Like,
What do
to
they
improve.
need?
I believe then Shaka needs a little bit of rest and break so they can bring that in, and also the midfield is a little bit light because if Partey or Shaka get a long time injury and they have to go 6-7 Premier League games.
Elneny, bro.
Okay, yeah.
Mo.
Hey, I'm not sure. Again, personally,
yeah, that's
I don't trust.
100%.
Again, personally, I don't trust Elneny. That again, he will have a game or two good. But can you rely on him for like 7 games when you play every 3 days? Or is it Logongan or whatever his name is that you're going to depend on? No.
I know what you're talking about.
But they are not good up to the first 2 players, right? So that's why they are not good. If they have another third midfielder that is really good, that is in the same bracket with the first 2
Partey
players,
and Shaka.
then you can be like, definitely they're good in that way. And, so, yeah.
But that's what you said.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out where to start from. Let's just start with there is no team in the league that would lose their best 2 midfielders that will play the same way. Mm-hmm. So if Arsenal lose their main centre mids and they start playing differently, that is expected. Mm-hmm. If you think Arsenal cannot do better than now, then just wait is all I can say about that because
stop it.
Because the issue with Arsenal has always been consistency. So if Arsenal can consistently play this way against all the teams in the league, that's a very different Arsenal than anybody's used to in the last 15 years. Easily. A consistent Arsenal that consistently holds the ball and does not let you do anything. They've restricted teams to the second least shots in every single game they've played. And that includes Man U. If you play all your games that way, the team is not likely to score. Like Brentford, so you guys against Man U against Brentford, you guys bowled them, but they scored. Nobody thinks, they didn't really have the ball. They just any real chance and they scored, right?
We're not counting the Maguire era.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that if you play Brentford 10 times out of 10 and you play the exact same way, you probably only lose that 1 game you lost. Mm-hmm. So if Arsenal play Man U the exact same way 10 times out of 10, we don't lose more than maybe 2 or 3, which is a fantastic way to play most of the teams in the league. Because you don't need to beat the top 6 to come top 4. You don't. It's still 3 points. 3 points, 18 points when you can slap everybody else behind.
I mean, Liverpool didn't win any of the top 4 last season and they made top 4.
Like, Chelsea won only 2 games against the top 4 last season. Nobody said anything about it. Right? So you don't need to beat the top 4, top 6 teams to do anything. You need to batter the teams behind. And since Arsenal's target is top 4, being able to batter anything from 7 down is superb. That is exactly what needs to be happening. Imagine Fabio Vieira, Odegaard, and Partey in midfield. Very different ball game from having Xhaka there. Nketiah starting games, it's very different ball game. everything about Arsenal says that they will get better because most of the players that are playing now were here last year. They're all just 1 year older. So a 1 year older team is going to have things that you're not used to. So for me, anyways, I think Arsenal can get much better. Regarding Chelsea and Liverpool, what people don't factor in is that they've had as easy a start to the league season as Arsenal. So if they are doing this now, with as easy a start to the league as Arsenal, and people are writing off Arsenal because they're it's Arsenal, they're eventually going to choke, then the other teams are likely to also choke because they've played bad teams so far and they're not doing that well too, right? So, but that's it. The reason why everyone thinks they're going to get better is because they're bigger teams than everybody else.
When you guys keep talking about the fixtures, I think I need to pull up the results and see the fixtures of the teams that these teams have played to confirm whether they were easy or not. So I don't want to go back to Amino on Spurs because he loves Conte so much. I'm going to go to Skip. Why is there so much?
Let me talk about that now.
No.
I have no. I have thoughts. And they're not what you're expecting.
You're
Okay.
not biased at all. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's not. See, I can hate on Spurs. You don't even need to even give me opportunity. I'm happy to do that. But how anybody can look at them and think that they are going to compete for anything in any competition escapes me. I don't understand. And it's very, very simple. There is no team today that wins anything by not holding the ball and not consistently having an attacking threat, like sustained attacking threats. It's all counters. They're not the first team to counter. They just have super strikers. That's the difference between them and like a Brentford or a Leeds. People that just wait and hit you on the break. So yes, they will win the odd scrappy game where they don't let you get anything and they counter you and score. But like if you look at even the last Champions League game they played, like they were dreadful for the most of the game. Like Arsenal are beating that team, that sporting team with academy kids. Nketiah, Joe Willock and co beat them 2 seasons ago. The exact same team.
I mean, your face is killing me.
Maybe minus 1 or 2 players. So like, I don't get it. Like, I just don't understand why people rate this team. But sure, you come and call it biased now.
Not-
but
not
it is
people.
what it is.
That was a very non-biased take on it. Who
it.
is? Everybody. No. It's one of those things where can't one argue that counter-attacking football is a sustained attacking threat? Because you're not going to a team that knows that you can counter-attack them effectively isn't going to be able to play you with that amount of comfortability. When I think about Ole, that's what I think about. I feel like teams were always scared of our counter-attack. That's why they always played.
What did Ole win?
It was he won
What did he
most
win?
away
I don't
games.
give it. What title did he win? Nothing. So that's my point. You will win games. Did he win? Did he win Europa? I don't
No,
remember.
we lost the
He
finals.
made it to the final, though.
We made it to the finals. We lost the finals.
Ateta
And
made it to the finals.
you can argue that a team with Kane
well done, Ateta.
can win a final. You know what I mean? Like if you have a striker
Yes,
as
but
yeah.
the reason why you don't end up winning, even if you get there, is because you are not built for that kind of thing. It's not a thing. Like even the great Mourinho team, like the reason why they used to win was because that defense was on lockdown. Tottenham don't have that. Their keeper isn't very good. So it's all, we will hope you don't take any of your chances. And then when Son and Harry Kane get the ball, we will pop you with our one shot on target.
I feel
and
like
that is the end of the game.
I feel like their keeper is better than their defense. If I was to point at anything, I would say their defense is not very good. I feel like their keeper is decent.
I
Their
think they're
defense,
the same
Royal, Dyer, and them. They don't give me too much confidence. But
No, Dyer
Maurice
is the worst player to ever play centre back. That is a starting centre back in Premier League is a stain on the entire division.
okay.
I've never seen
that's
a
that's
centre back.
that's Edosa's non-biased take on Tottenham. We're going to go to we have to go to Aminu on his non-biased take on Tottenham as well. Go on.
No, I already gave my take on Spurs, and I said I don't believe in them. We also you just mentioned their defense is not very good.
Conte doesn't believe in them either. I don't know if I've heard it.
The system that they play doesn't get the best out of their attacking players. Yes, Son scored a hat-trick against Leicester, who are the worst team in the league right now, but he's been struggling all season long in the system. So I don't see them scoring lots of goals going forward, and then I don't see them also shoring up their defense in most games. So therefore, I definitely don't think they'll struggle to make it into the top 4, in my opinion.
That's what's going to be my next question. So Arsenal and I'm sorry, not Arsenal. It also says they don't win anything, but do you think they'll make it to top 4 at least, like guaranteed?
Not only will they not win anything, they'll also I will probably, if I had to pick right now, I'd say they won't make top four as well. I don't believe in that team at all. Like outside of Kane and Son, okay,
Kulusevski.
I'd say Højbjerg is decent, but outside of
Kulusevski.
those okay, Kulusevski, yeah, and Richarlison, but sometimes he comes off the
Bissouma.
bench for
Bissouma.
No,
for
Richarlison is a rubbish player. Bissouma
for
is
Son.
actually.
Go on.
Yeah, so they're still not a complete team. That's my point. But definitely their biggest weakness is going to be their defense and their creativity, right? Like Kane cannot sustain the creative burden for that team. I know he did so under Mourinho, where he had I think him and Son combined for like the most dual assists and goals in Premier League history. So it's
So
not that
Mourinho does,
they're
man.
not capable, but I just don't see them doing it in the Conte-driven system. But we'll have to wait and see when they start playing, better teams and teams that are on the top half of the table.
Skip. Man City unstoppable or realistic? Can a
I think Man
surprise
City
team
are
stop them?
stoppable.
Who?
I think Man City are stoppable, but
Who can
yes,
stop
just I've looked at Man City this season, and I believe they were playing better last season.
Yes,
Man
definitely.
City, when I look at City, they can improve. They can play better. Guardiola's team can play better than that. All what is happening right now to them was I'm not sure if you guys remember when Zlatan was at Barca. When
I don't
Zlatan
really watch
was
La
the
Liga that
striker,
much, but
okay,
yeah.
when Zlatan was the striker, and like Guardiola was very uncomfortable with playing with like a 9, and they weren't playing as
Fluid.
as the way they used to play, right? And again, he switched it up later on, like at the end and all of that. That's what this Man City team reminds me of. I see they can play better, but right now, Ireland is just too good. Just keep giving him the ball inside box 18. That's what you need to do. And he's going to find the net. But like I see City, like they can play better than this. So, yeah.
Edosa, get your hand up.
I think they don't need to play better. And that's because, like last season, they basically bowled everybody in Champions League and still got kicked out. So it's
That's
enough.
miraculous.
Playing better is not what they need. They will need to win. And so Pep is going to swallow his pride and win that Champions League to prove that he can win without Messi. So I don't like it's growing pains, right? Like not every like see the way Martinez slotted right into Man U. You would not realize that he just joined the team because everything works with him. The same thing for like Jesus at Arsenal. That
Well,
can't
growing pains
always
though for Martinez. Don't you remember against Brighton and Brentford?
no, but like Brentford is a very unique case because of the way they play. Like Ivan Toney gives this guy Van Dijk problems too. Like at that point, it's fair game for anybody. Like personally, I didn't think it was that important that he bullied Ben White in the first game, second game, nothing. This match, nothing. Despite the fact that he kept going towards Ben White. Like it's just the first time you meet him, you are surprised by how physical he is. That said, I still don't think that City needs to change how they play because end of the day, the aim is to win matches, and with Haaland, you get to win any match that you're playing. So why are you going to change up anything? Just passing the ball.
I mean, you think we can stop them? Yeah, next we'll play them next.
Man, that game is going to be nerve-wracking for sure. But I definitely agree with Edosa. Like they don't need to play better. They are now in the business of just winning games. They don't care if they are too stylistic with it. They just want to win games. And with Haaland there, I think he just gives them the edge against most teams. I mean, his goal, the last goal he scored, I forget against who. The
Wolves.
But yes, the thing,
karate
you guys
kick,
are saying
that was
Wolves.
ridiculous.
Oh no, that was Dortmund.
Oh,
But you
yeah,
guys keep
against Dortmund
Dortmund
in the
champion.
Champions League, that was ridiculous. Like, he's just a guy that he can make something out of nothing. And they really didn't have that before. They had guys like Sterling that kept on missing chances, and,
Man,
Pep
this guy
was
has
digging
stuff.
into his skull to find that last strand of hair to pull out, you know? So, to me, the analogy I see with this City team and last season is kind of like um, with in basketball when KD joined the Warriors, right? They weren't playing better, but they were winning. They were winning more games and they were capable of winning more games, right? So that is the trade-off that you have. Like you give up a little bit of that flashiness for certain wins moving forward. So for sure, I think this City team is a threat. And the real question is, can Haaland stay fit throughout the season? And beyond that, how is Pep going to manage him in terms of his rotation schedule that he usually has? Because
This
the
guy plays
man used to
every game.
rotate for no
This guy plays
reason
every
before.
game, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far he has been letting Haaland play every game. But before, like whoever was playing striker will get rotated for no reason. Pep just rotates his team. So we'll
And
see how he manages him and see if he can stay fit. But right now they're definitely the team to beat, like no question, not just in the Premier League but in Europe as well.
What
I
you saying?
think them and Madrid. What was the name? Man City and Madrid. They're
Yeah.
the team to beat. But according with regards to Ireland, again, the last 2 seasons he has had like this injury issue where he's out for like I think a month or two. And if that happens after World Cup where you have basically 8 games almost 8 like 6 to 7 games every week and
He's not
every
even
2
going to the
weeks,
World Cup.
3 weeks. No, I'm saying after World Cup. If that's when he gets injured, then what are Man City going to do when they have no guy to pass that ball to up front? And
Alvarez.
that's my main concern.
They have
Like,
Alvarez or what's the other guy?
That
again,
is
when
his
I'm
name.
saying where are they going to pass the ball, that we have the same convert trade, the same trade. Again, it's easy to just be
Get
like,
off this
oh, we
ball.
have someone, we have someone. Is Alvarez or any other player they have scoring the goal he scored against Bayern BVB?
Dortmund.
Is
But,
anybody else doing that? And that's the
most
thing.
strikers don't score that goal. that's
Yeah,
the thing. Like,
That's Skip's point.
But-
And
Nobody can
again,
replace
but-
and that's my
I'll-
point.
but Alvarez fits what they were doing last season.
before.
So don't discount that they bought that guy. Like
Again,
they
so-
realize
Again, and that's why my concern is like I hope he doesn't get injured because I have him as my player of the season and highest goal scorer beginning of the season. I said
too.
that.
Me too.
So hey, I hope he doesn't get injured or anything. But like that's the thing.
Even if he gets injured, no one's catching him. He has 11 goals in 7 games,
So
man.
and that's my thing. Like, is it when he gets injured that they will now start thinking they are going to change their way and they will start, you know what? Let's try reversing back or like again. And that's my this thing that wait
but they,
because at that
they
time.
train.
But at that time, but again, they're training again. They're playing in this like
System.
different way now.
can't
They
just
have
switch.
to like you can't just switch because don't forget
No.
after now we're playing games every 2-3 days. So when are they? And that's my main concern. Like if they're switching completely from what, like not completely, if they're switching from what they were used to before to this, let's imagine if Haaland is not here, will they just change immediately? Because this season is not like any other regular season we've seen. Games are coming every 2 to
Thick
3
and
days,
fast.
and again, when immediately like,
I have
sorry,
sorry. So I'll use Arsenal as an example. Arsenal can play 3-4-3, 3-5-2, any type of formation in one game at any given time.
3-5-2.
Anything you feel like they literally flip through formations as they feel like during a game, and that is like a lesser quality team than Man City. So there's no way you're telling me Man City are there and they've not thought about what to do without Haaland, and they're not training on it, because that is how they play. They pass you to death. The only difference is that now, where in front of that done 10 passes to get to the striker, they just need 1 or 2. Because it doesn't even really matter. Just get it into anywhere Haaland can reach.
cross the ball anywhere in the box.
So
Haaland don't get
the
it.
second you take him out, oh, okay, we don't have anybody. The first time they tried, oh, this guy can't get that ball. Okay, pass. One chance goes again. We're back to regular schedule. So I think, yeah, like people are sleeping on City, and those guys are crazy.
Who's sleeping on City?
Nobody's sleeping on City.
but
All
to-
we're saying is they have one more year to go, and they can actually, they can play better than this. If you're saying that about a team that is about one almost all their game, that they can 100% get better, that's not writing them
That's
off.
honestly.
That's saying a lot.
And to that also goes back to the point I made about how Pep is going to manage him moving forward, right? Like when the games are coming thick and fast, like how much rest is Haaland getting, and how do they play with Haaland out? Like Haaland isn't going to start every game; he's not going to start every competition. So you are definitely going to get insights into how they will play without him, with Alvarez starting in that position as well. So Alvarez is going to get a lot of game time with the way the schedule is this season, right? And they will have to transition between the two different styles this season, one way or the other, right? And I think they can do it. So we'll have to wait and see.
I just thought of, when you said that, I just thought about he hasn't played a lot of games so far. So just thought about you as like Pep's, lawyer trying to convince the bro. Don't worry, when the season starts coming thick and fast, you play. you play. We'll bench Haaland, we'll rest Haaland. Last question, final question on this: who does or who do, which is grammatically correct? Who does Arsenal need to improve themselves? Is that correct? Aminu.
Man, that's a tough question. I don't know. I think right now my main concern with Arsenal is health. Like how are they going to look, mid-season and towards the end of the season? Partey can never stay fit. What happens when, Jesus goes down and Nketiah is the one now starting in his place? What happens, when Martinelli goes down? Guys that usually pick knocks here and there. What happens when Xhaka, is overplayed and gets injured or starts making bad decisions and gets sent off? Those are the things that I want to see how they'll handle really moving forward. And my suspicion is when one or two injuries start creeping in, it will really become a problem for them.
Just a quick response. Who do you guys need to improve? You're muted.
Just so you're aware, Arsenal have 5 injuries at the moment, all of them important first choice players. So they're figuring it out.
Outside of Zinchenko, who are the other?
Odegaard.
Odegaard only missed the last game though. He played all the previous games.
But he's injured right now, and they still won. You didn't even know that he wasn't on the field.
I knew, man. We knew.
No,
This is some of us' fantasy.
They did not. The team did not miss him. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So my point is, we played 2 games without Partey. Like my point is just that basically there is no team in the league that would lose their best players and play the same way.
But who do you? But that's what I'm saying. You still have to answer the question. Like, what do you guys need?
We need another certain level midfielder and a winger that can play left and right. And if they can get those 2 things, then Arsenal is like a solid like team for fighting for top 4 without you feeling like they're going to drop away at the end. Because in every other position on the field, we have 2.
Do you think Nketiah is good enough? That's exactly what I was saying.
He's good enough to Jesus long term. Not long term, but like for
Nketiah scored 10 goals last season. How many goals did your second striker score last season?
Our second striker was injured.
I don't care. Like pick any team in the league, their second striker.
He scored
any team in the league.
He scored 10 league goals.
No, he scored He scored 5 league goals. Okay, fine. Pick 5 league goals. How many goals does the
Okay,
next
10
second
league
striker
goals
in
made
the
me
league?
think like, the guy, he's balling
No,
out.
like-
I know towards the
in
end when he was
everything.
beating Chelsea
No,
and all that
because
shit,
that's when
remember?
he played, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he played 10 games, scored 5 goals.
Okay,
He's played
but he
this
definitely, I know
season.
he scored 2 goals in one of those games.
Yeah, against
So,
Chelsea.
All the
Yeah.
goals count.
I know,
All the
but I'm
goals
just
count.
saying, in terms of production, when you're carrying a team, when there's an injury to your main striker now, you need to do it consistently, right? If you are streaky, that could also affect the overall trajectory and form of the entire team, right? So
No, but
that's my point. Can
I
you do it
agree.
consistently?
My answer to that question is most likely because every time you give Nketiah chances, he scores. If you play Nketiah consistently,
Rubbing his
no,
hands.
if you play him
I want
consistently,
to
he
see all
scores.
this.
No, it's the rubbing his hands that's making me laugh. Don't mind
No,
this guy.
but
He's
like
fine.
it's the way his career has gone. If you play Nketiah consistently, he starts to score at some point. Because the way Arsenal are playing is to try and get you the best chance possible in the net. And that's where he scores all his goals from. He likes to score inside the 18-yard box. So, again, like we're just talking about Haaland and Alvarez. Alvarez is a very high-quality talent player, and he might not be able to carry Man City. And that is Man City with all the players. So why would it be that when you have Nketiah, who is not maybe as talented as Alvarez, playing a team that's not as good as Man City, the expectation is for him to carry the entire team.
Because
Like,
it's
we have to
Arsenal.
be...
Skip.
We have to be balanced in our this team.
Skip, same question for Spurs. What does Spurs need to improve?
First
tear
of all,
down the
to
club.
answer the general question, I believe Tottenham and Arsenal are title contenders. Just to
This
put
guy,
that
why are
out
you
there.
saying things like this?
Then
People to clip you up. Why are you saying things like this?
Build them up so you can tear them down later on.
yeah.
Yeah,
So and regarding Tottenham, I believe Tottenham. The way they play, they need to improve their wing back position. Because this formation and the Royal dude, is not it. They need to, and they have
Perisic.
the person. They have him on the other, but it's too old. It cannot keep up again. Then the wing back that has to run down back and forth every minute or every second, every minute of like
Where does
playing every
Sessegnon
2-3
play?
games. He plays on that side, but he hasn't hit it from it too. Like he hasn't been that great. So I believe if they improve their wing back, also like the midfield, the problem with Basuma is I think Conte said it like a few days ago that Basuma is having problem tactically, so he's not getting. So that's why he hasn't been playing. So I expect Basuma to come into the fold because Basuma and what's this? Their midfielder, their second or third captain. You guys mentioned.
Bentancur?
Bentancur?
Yeah,
Bentancur.
Bentancur. Basuma and Bentancur. Yeah, when both of them start playing, I can see that midfield being really good. But their defense, like again, the way I see their defense is like I believe Romero, if that's his name. Romero is a good defender. I don't know why people always clown on him. I believe he is a good defender. If you look, he has been here now for almost a year.
Yeah,
And,
a year or two.
apart from he's been really good. I don't know, like I can't
Has
look
he-
back and be like pick like 4 mistakes or 4 things.
I
he
don't
did, like,
watch Spurs enough to be able to
so he has
identify
been
his
good. I don't
mistakes,
know
but
why
I'm sure there are
people-
some mistakes.
No, again, if you look at any defender in Premier League that have played like a full year, you will see at least a mistake in their game. It's just the nature of like,
Defending.
you will see it, you will just see a mistake, and it's okay. It's okay. You are not going to be perfect. So, so Romero is good, and I believe Sanchez is decent enough. Yeah, Sanchez is different. I don't. Again, you people rate Christensen that high. I don't think Sanchez is that bad.
I don't rate
Sanchez,
Christensen that high. I don't know why Barcelona took him. I don't rate him at all. I don't know why he started for
Yeah,
Barcelona.
guy, nobody rates any of these players you're talking about, bro.
I believe again, Sanchez is good enough. I believe
Sorry
Sanchez.
to interrupt, but Christensen is one of those players that if I was him and Barca was calling me, I don't even care that they're not going to pay me. I'll go tell like this Barcelona. This is an opportunity that's never coming again. Nobody rates you. Where is Barca calling me? I'm going.
But again, and that's to say, like again, that means if you guys don't rate percent, that means you can be an average defender and still play. You know, the team can still hide your distance. That's why they're playing three at the back.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at all of them, again, especially from Romero, all of them are not outstanding defenders where you have to, where you can be like, oh, you can handle this man. And that's why they're playing three at the back. And three at the back actually hides those,
Skip, I have a question.
That's why Maguire plays well for England.
Didn't Conte also play three at the back at Chelsea?
Yeah.
And what a centre back there?
That was a long time ago. That's like a quiz question.
I remember Moses was the wing back. Moses was. John Terry was a bench one and was sitting on bench that year.
It should have been Dave.
It was Christensen. It was Christensen. Wait, I can't remember. I remember Alonso and
Moses. That's
Moses.
I remember
Alonso and I remember Kante and Matic, Costa, Hazard and Willian, Pedro also. I can't remember the central back.
I think what I'm going for is most likely Conte is a back three manager. He doesn't play two at the back.
No, I'm saying, well, yes, the thing. That's what, again, he doesn't have three outstanding defenders. So
but he could have gotten them, like given how much he's wasted on wing backs this transfer season, he could have gotten
how much did he waste on wing back?
It's Richarlison was a waste. But the wing backs.
Richarlison was a waste. Perisic is a waste.
No.
Perisic value for money. Value for money. Perisic,
I think it was free.
One of the most.
Actually, I think it was free. Perisic was good. His crosses
have been good.
Where does is Perisic left or right?
He plays both foot.
He can cross with both legs. Okay. Danger man.
I hope we play against Arsenal. Let's see how.
No. They cannot put him against Shakhtar because Saka is faster than me. Saka will tear him anyway.
No, I thought that Saka is not good now. No,
he's young. We're not saying he's good. He's young. It's an age thing.
You guys have said this. I can put the charts on the internet for people to see your slanders.
No, again, all I've said is Saka is
the one that
Arsenal
says Saka
fans
is
rating.
200 million.
Where Saka
don't get into that. Skip finish up. Skip finish that.
If they put him with Saka, that's good because again, Saka is that guy like his main attribute is the speed, and Perisic just doesn't have this thing.
I don't agree with that.
He doesn't have like the legs and all of that.
He can't.
To deal with that. So, but like again, I think Tottenham is good value. Again, this is how Conte have always played, and he has won different leagues. He has won different things before. He has always done it this exact same way, and he has worked until he stopped working. That's when we can be like, oh, for sure he will not work. He has worked before. He has worked on different times. So until he stopped working,
we're ending with this. This is end on the high.
Until he stopped working, we can't sit here and be like it cannot work. We might not like it, but it does work. Does it. So
now with that, man.
Calm down.
We have to look at it.
How long does it take Conte to win something with any of the other teams?
Always by second season.
Yeah, 2-3 years.
What season is this?
He just finished his first one, so.
Was it
second season?
Yeah, he just know. He started
last season last season, right?
Yeah, last season wasn't full.
Yeah, so it doesn't even matter. I hope he stays 5 more years. He's not going to win anything.
That's what they say with Mourinho and.
Oh my goodness! And with that,
Mourinho play the final.
Mourinho. Yo, I don't make the rules.
Mourinho won 2 trophies as United. He won.
But 3, sorry.
He won.
Wait, 3. Did he win?
Community Shield. At that
you could put Pep with Messi in Tottenham and they will find a way to not win anything. You don't understand. It's the very fabric of the
Do you know the funny thing? I actually hope what Edosa is saying is true. But the Conte I know, he has always done this the same way.
Bro,
Again,
They don't know the
what are
content we know.
what are they going to win?
You know, if
Like,
they win Carling Cup, they've won something. Just
but they're
think
not
about
going to.
Hey, we have to end. We have to end. We have to end the episode. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. It's international break. We're gonna have 2 videos coming out before the next Premier League games with combined 11s for the 2 big games on the weekend of October 1st. Man City and Liverpool, and Arsenal versus Spurs, the London derby. Remember to subscribe, like, Instagram, YouTube, and on Twitter. As always, continue to love football. Thank you. Bye-bye.